My name is Mason Elliott, and I'm going to be reading the biggest selling book ever published in New Zealand. The Edmonds Cookery Book. The Edmonds Cookery Book, page 3. Edmonds through the years. The Edmonds Cookery Book needs no introduction, given its proud 90-year history of popularity and success. But it is interesting, all these years later, to reflect on the humble origins which had led to it becoming a household name in this country. It all started in Littleton last century, when 20-year-old Thomas J. Edmonds developed his own baking powder in response to the need of dissatisfied customers who came into his grocery store complaining about the unreliability of the baking powder then available. In 1879, he sold his first batch of 200 tins, telling his customers that their baking was sure to rise. And before long, the housewives of Canterbury were clamouring for more of the tins bearing his distinctive Rising Sun with Cakes trademark. The rest of New Zealand soon followed suit, and in 1907 the first edition of the Edmonds Cookery Book, with its 50 pages of economical, everyday recipes and cooking hints, made its appearance. Every couple who announced their engagement looked forward to receiving their copy, a practice which lasted for some years. Sales of the baking powder continued to rise in spite of competition from some fierce contenders for the business, and by 1915 sales were equivalent to 6.5 tins for every family in the country. 7 years later, Thomas Edmonds opened his factory, which was become a Christchurch landmark for nearly 70 years. During the Depression, it became the first factory to introduce a 40-hour, 5-day week, and this forward thinking ensured that none of the workers, many of whom had been with the firm for an impressive number of years, had to suffer redundancy. And the city of Christchurch also gained from this remarkable man's generosity when he erected a band rotunda, now a restaurant, and a clock tower to celebrate his firm's 50th anniversary in 1929. This was followed by the creation of a park behind the factory, which later became city property. As Edmonds increased its range of products, the success of the cookery book grew, and more than 3 million copies have now been sold, making it not only a bestseller among cookbooks, but the biggest selling book ever published in New Zealand. In 1989, a companion volume, the Edmonds Microwave Cookery Book, was published, and there is no doubt that the Edmonds Cookery Book will continue to stay in New Zealand's most popular cookbooks for many years to come.